Hi, everyone. Over the past couple of weeks, I've been sharing messages with the whole congregation at Knox, which obviously includes you, but today I wanted to share a message with just you. That is, I want to spend some time with those of you who are under 21. A few days ago, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau spoke directly in his daily update to the younger people in our country. It was pretty awesome. I hope you heard him. So I thought, as your minister, I really want to speak directly with you. First of all, I want to say how much I miss all of you. I so love to see you and talk with you and hear about how your week is going. Life is just not the same without our regular check-ins. But for the time being, we have to figure out some other ways to be in touch. You can, of course, call or text or email me. That would be great. But for today, I'd like to have a conversation via YouTube. Well, I guess it's a one-sided conversation at this point, but you can get a hold of me later and we can chat further. First of all, how are you all doing? You certainly have been in my thoughts and prayers. I talked about this past week in a video I made that I've divided the whole congregation from Knox into 7 groups, and I've put every person connected to Knox into a group. Each group represents a day of the week, and I'm praying for the people in that group on that particular day. That means I'm committed to praying for you at least once a week. I would love to know if there's something that you would especially like me to be praying about for you. Please let me know. This is a super hard time. I can imagine you're feeling scared and very worried and upset, just really not yourself. That all makes sense with what's going on around us. I know some of you are worried about school and what's going to happen with the school year, and will you be able to get the work done that you need to get done? Will you graduate? Some of you are pretty concerned about your own health or about your family or friends' health, especially if they're older people. You're probably concerned about what's going to happen in people in our own community, in our own country, or around the world. There are so many things that seem unsure. And none of us have been through this before, so in many ways, we're figuring this out as we go. I read something yesterday in the newspaper, in the Hamilton Spectator, that really caught my attention, and I want to share it with you. So to start, a question for all of you. How many of you listening were born in 2005 or after that year? That means if you're 15 or under, that includes you. And you fall into a category called Generation Z. Now, I know some of you who are listening are Gen Zs. And how many of you who are listening were born between 1982 and 2004? I know some of you were. You are a millennial. Well, this article that I was talking about was written for people who are millennials or Gen Zs. That's you. The person who wrote the article, Vanessa Rambinhar, is a millennial, and she also is a doctor who works in Toronto. She starts out by saying that she's heard so many stories of millennials and Gen Zs, people who think that COVID-19 is NBD, no big deal. Well, here's what she writes next. I'm here to tell you something that we grew up hearing, but you need to hear it again. You matter. Your decisions matter. What you do today more than ever will make a difference. I couldn't agree with her more. Each of you are so amazingly loved by God, your family and friends, by your church family. Please know this and take it in. You are loved. You are so important and you matter. God reminds us of this over and over again in the Bible. Breathe that in. Take that in. And what you do and the actions you take or not, the choices you make, and your being involved in the world around is absolutely essential. Don't let anyone tell you or make you think otherwise. And you can, and you do make a difference. And if there ever was a time to do so, it's right now. So let's talk about how you can do this. Now, I imagine a lot of what I'm going to say, you already know, and I hope and pray you're doing. But here we go. You may think that because you're young and healthy, you don't have to worry about getting the virus, so that you don't need to participate. Well, that just isn't true. Yes, the fact that you are young is on your side of health, of good health, but you still can catch COVID-19 if you're a millennial or Gen Z person. These are the kinds of things that this young woman talked about in her article that she really wants to make sure you hear. So you absolutely must practice things like social distancing, being 2 meters away from people, washing your hands over and over again, especially if you sneeze or cough or blow your nose or you're preparing food. And if you have to cough or sneeze, then use a tissue if at all possible, or cough or sneeze into your elbow. Then, of course, wash your hands. Stay in your house unless you absolutely have to go out. We're told that at the moment we can go for walks, but we must not gather with other people, and we have to keep a safe distance. Do not hang out with your friends in person. I know this is hard, but your only contact with your friends needs to be on your device through texting or some other social media. And yeah, listen to your parents even about how much time you should be spent doing this. And you need to stay away from your friends, and they need to stay away from you to protect yourselves and to flatten the curve of the virus. Well, actually, to plank COVID-19. And you especially need to do that if they or you are sick, or if you or they or a family member has traveled outside of Canada in the last little while. I know you know all these things, but here's the thing. Please, for the sake of your health, for your family's health, for the health of your friends, your neighbors, for the older people in your life, people you know and don't know, the healthcare workers, the first responders, for the sake of being able to have enough supplies and hospital beds for those with serious illness, please do your part. You can and you will make a difference if you do so. Talk to your family and friends about this. Insist that they do the same. And if any of them think it is MBD, tell them it is BD, big deal, and that they too can make a difference. Take the time while you're at home to learn about the pandemic from some good, reliable sources, and share that other information with other people. Begin to explore and learn the ways that you can be part of the change. What else is going on around in the world, especially with the environment? We're learning that one of the positive things in the pandemic is that there's less pollution happening, so that the air and waterways in some places around the world has improved. What can we learn from this, and how might you be able to make a difference in the years to come? Take time to learn about what local groups are doing to help people in your community who need help, such as people who live in poverty or homeless. For example, check out foodforkidshamilton.ca and see what they're doing to help kids and their families with food at this time. And you could ask people you know to help out where they can, and you could give them some great ideas about how to do so. We've also learned about how important community and connections are with human beings. God designed us to be in relationship with one another and to care for each other and to show compassion. Look for ways that you still can do that without having actual face-to-face contact with people. Perhaps that means calling people or sending them a text or email, or using FaceTime to make that connection with your friends, with family, with a senior, with someone who's on their own. It's so awesome to hear from someone. Just this morning, I got a text from a friend that I hadn't heard from a while, and that person was just checking in with me to see how I was doing. That felt so great. All that helps us to stay connected and not feel alone. I'm sure there are many other ways of connecting. You can do it, and you will make a difference. Even with your own families, you can make a difference. You're now spending a whole lot more time with your family. Hopefully that's going well. But I'm sure you have to work on it and learning how to be together all these hours and days. Take the lead here. Think of things you can do together. Play games, watch a movie, make up a scavenger hunt, put together a puzzle, write a story, read a book together, just to name a few. And most important of all, be kind and be patient. You can do it, and you can make a difference. Now, I hope I haven't sounded like I'm lecturing you, because I'm really not trying to. Each and every one of you listening is an amazing, creative, bright, thoughtful, and talented person. I know you have what it takes to make a difference and help change the world. And I'm encouraging you to do so for your own sake and for the sake of the people and the world around you. I'd love to hear how you do this. Please let me know what it looks and feels like to be a millennial and Gen Z difference maker. Until next time, peace and grace.